Hello and welcome to this EUR Web exclusive. I'm Stephanie Rivers. This is the Ready to Love exit interview. Each week, we'll bring to you exit interviews from cast members who were told, "You're not ready to love," and we'll find out what really happened when the camera stopped rolling that caused them to become an outcast member. So, we're multicasting on several platforms. You might be watching us on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube. And so, I'm going to put a link in the chat so that if you want to be a part of the conversation, then you can do that. I'll put it down here. And again, I want to thank you to my subscribers. And if this is your first time watching me, because I do a lot of videos, be sure to like, share, and subscribe so that when I post new videos, you'll be the first to know. So the sixth season of OWN's reality dating show, Ready to Love, premiered last Friday. It's a favorite of a lot of people, and I watch it regularly myself. And so already two cast members have made their exit. Calvin King Garvey is one of them, and he's here to talk to us about it today. Thanks for joining us, Calvin. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No problem. So, Calvin, we're just going to jump right in, and I'm going to ask you a few questions. There might be somebody who comes in to the chat, and they might ask you a question or two. But essentially, we won't hold you long. But we want to know that normally the first episode when people don't come back is because they are told you're not ready to love, or they didn't connect at the initial mixer. But based on, so nephew Tommy said that you self-eliminated. So inquiring minds want to know, Calvin, what happened? He said you talked to your mom and something happened. Was there a death in the family, a sickness? Did the competition get to you and you said, "I don't want to be here"? What happened, Calvin?
That's funny. No, it wasn't the competition. Unfortunately, in the middle of the actually taping, I did get a phone call. During when we actually took a quick break, I got a phone call. And, unfortunately, my mother, she was actually, I don't really want to give too much details on what happened with her, to be honest with you, because she's a private person, but she ended up getting sick and she wasn't feeling well. I got a phone call from actually her neighbor. And during that time, I had to make a decision. And to be honest with you, my mother is my world. So my decision was to step away. I was and figure out what was going on. So I left the show. I attended to my mother. By the grace of God, she's doing great. So let me make sure I put that out there. She's doing great. She's doing very well. And I was deciding on whether I was going to come back. You know, the show graciously asked me and gave me the opportunity to come back to see whether or not I am ready to love. But I wasn't in the right headspace, to be honest with you. I took some time, took a couple of days. I was trying to still take care of my mother, make sure that she was good, and I wasn't in the right headspace. And similar to what I said to the producers, was that I believe that when you are approaching women, when you're actually trying to court women, you need to make sure that you're available mentally, emotionally, financially, physically, and spiritually. And there were some of those categories I just wasn't present. I couldn't be present at the time. And I didn't think it was fair for me to demand something that I couldn't supply. So I decided to not to continue, to make sure that I got myself together and took that time. And I did. So it was a quick decision. It was a hard decision, but it was the right decision.
And you know what? I agree, because we only have one mother, and so I commend you on that. And unfortunately, sometimes you have to make those choices, and it comes back to when I often think about things dealing with my mother, I'm like, she gave up a lot to have me, care for me, and all of that, that I will never be able to repay her for.
Yeah.
So in if I'm in a position where I feel like I might be missing out on something because I need to be there for my mom, then my mother is the choice.
Yes.
So, and hopefully, people, and I'm sure they do, will understand that,
Yes. The
um
show the show was very sorry to cut you off. The show was
no
very
problem.
very supportive. They were very they checked up on me and they gave me the opportunity. So I really appreciate that as well. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
And she is doing better. Is she in Florida with you?
Yes, and that was the thing. I actually just bought my mother a house and moved her down here like a year ago. So I'm still getting her situated. So when that happened, my mind just immediately went to like, wow, I brought her here. I have to make sure that she's good. So she's in Florida. She's not too far away from me. She actually did watch the show as well. She felt bad that I couldn't continue with the show. Um, and being a mother, being a strong black woman, she was like, you should have did it, you should have continued. But similar to what you said, that's my mom's, and nothing comes above that when it comes down to making sure that she's good, because she always made sure that I was good. So the decision was easy. It was hard to go through it, but it was an easy decision to make.
So will you maybe be like K Smooth, who came back for the next season? Is that gonna be, am I like, what is that called when you tell the you're gonna maybe be able to come back for the next season because of how it went down, maybe?
Well, I'm not giving any spoiler alerts, right? But no, there is no. I really took some time. I really took some time, and my faith is very important to me. It's my foundation, and in my mind, I realized that maybe I wasn't ready. Maybe there was God's way of telling me I wasn't ready. So I actually just really took this time to kind of regroup, reset, and get myself together throughout everything. Make sure I had everything in order. This whole thing that happened with my mom's really put a lot of things in perspective, not only just for my mom's, but just for myself as well. So I really realized that I needed to put some things in order and tie up some things before I even talked about, finding that one.
So having based on the brief interaction with the ladies at the opening mixer, which one of the ladies, or what would have been your top three ladies that you said to yourself, "Oh, I wish I could have stayed because it would have been on and popping with her."
I didn't really get a chance to mingle as much, but Brandy was really cool. Brandy was really cool. She was really down to earth. She was really fun, and we had professionalism in common. I work in the aviation field. She worked in the aviation field, so we got an opportunity to talk about that. And she was just again fun and down to earth. I didn't get a chance to speak to. I think I spoke to Kayla, I believe. I couldn't remember everyone's name, to be honest with you. Everything was just happening so fast. But that was also another person that was like down to earth. Everyone else was kind of touch and go, touch and go, touch and go. One person I did have my eye on at the time, but never really got an opportunity to go after her was Looney. She was another one. I was like, I have my eye on her. So I was waiting for that opportunity because she had people talking to her and in her face. So I was waiting for a path to clear its way in order for me. So those were probably my top three, um, just from spot conversation.
So I'm looking at the list, the lineup, because I was one of the media people who did your roundtable interview. So Brandy was the flight attendant, and you said Kayla was the media executive,
No, then I'm
and
sorry. Then that wasn't her. I'm sorry. It,
oh, okay. So, well, I mean, it's, but you do remember Brandy because she was a flight attendant, right?
She was the flight attendant. Yes, she was the
And
flight
then
attendant.
Looney was a is the real estate agent
Correct.
or realtor, and so it says that Kayla was the media executive, but it could have been Sharice maybe or another S.
No, it was the one thing I do remember about this young lady. She had the cast on her hand. She had hurt herself. I think it was caught.
Oh, okay. I do remember the person who came in with the cast, and I
Yes,
can't remember her name. And
yes,
I guess it takes everybody a couple of episodes for us to remember names with faces.
yes.
But so so were you thinking, okay, since I have to leave, you're gonna try to catch up with them later? I mean, do you have to sign paperwork that says we can't contact them after a certain amount of time? How does that work? Because I've often wondered that when people leave a show and you really had your mind set on this person, you're like, I'm going after this person. I don't care what that producer said.
Yeah, I don't think they have any NDAs letting you know that you can't, speak to them afterwards or during the time. And I didn't get a chance to actually attend the watch party because I was actually out of town. So that was another opportunity. I thought I would get an opportunity to be able to mix and mingle, but I didn't. But there are maybe an opportunity, there may be a chance, social media always gives you a chance to link in and watch, but now I get an opportunity to sit back and watch to see who these people are. So when the show is going and everything is happening, it's like speed dating. You got to hurry up and go. But that's not really my MO. I like to sit back and watch and see. So now I kind of get an opportunity to see the characters. Don't mean to call everyone characters, but to see everyone and to see who they are. And then I will decide whether or not that works for me.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. So were there any of the guys, the cast members who you felt like that's gonna be my competition for the leading lady? Because some people you're like, oh no, he ain't got nothing on me. And then there's some people you're like, oh, she, that's the person who I gotta look out for. Because I often say this, I often say I'm not gay, but if I was a guy, I would like this woman. You know what I'm saying? So was there a person that you said, I ain't gay, but women probably like him, and he would be the person I need to watch out for because he's probably interested in the same type of woman I'm interested in?
Mm-hmm.
If
Yeah,
or maybe not. Maybe you don't
yeah,
think like
no,
that.
no, I agree with you. I'm confident enough as a man to recognize another good-looking person when they walk into the room. I may be like, "Oh wow, that looks cool. He looks cool. I like his outfit and this and that." So I'm confident enough to do that. But I'm also confident in myself to know that I don't really compete with people. I kind of look at who I want to go after, and when I walk into a room, when I am going after something, I always believe I'm going to win, right? I always believe I'm going to get it. So it's almost like playing basketball. When I used to play basketball when I was younger, I always had now. I didn't care who had next, and as long as I
Okay.
stayed on the court, I didn't care who had next. I just had to make sure I kept winning. So I wasn't really watching, because sometimes when you watch other people and see what they're doing, you get out of your lane. You forget the things that you're supposed to be doing, because you could sometimes watch what they're doing and kind of throw yourself off. So the confidence, and again, it's not a cocky thing, it's just that I believe in me. I will always bet on me. So the guys were cool. So I don't want to discredit anyone. I didn't get a chance, of course, to mingle with them, to say what's up with them, to kick it with them on that level, because when we got there, again, we had to just go, go, go. But the little bit of mingling that I got a chance to speak to them, they were really cool dudes. But at the end of the day, for me personally, I wasn't going after them. I was going after the one I wanted. And I felt like if I went after the one I wanted, I will always bet on me.
Amen, brother. So we have a few people who are watching, and I did put the link in the chat if you want to ask Calvin a question. You can put it in the chat and I'll ask it for you. But here's a question that I have for you. Because you said you don't really worry about who has next, but someone like they only choose a certain amount of cast members, and so that means that when they chose you, Calvin, there was somebody else who was not chosen. And I know, did you ever think about that as you were saying, I'm not going to be able to do this, that there was somebody out there who was like, oh man, I was next in line to be on the show and I could have been on the show? Or you didn't really think that far about the missed opportunity that somebody had because you were chosen and then it turns out you were unable to follow through?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I didn't think about that. Was a good question. I actually did not think about it that far. I'm not a person that really walks around with like regrets. It ain't really what you walk away from, is what you walk away with. I was chosen because they felt like I was the best candidate to be on the show. And although it was a short period of time, I still think I left a lasting impression, enough to be on the show. And you never know what happens moving forward, to be honest with you. So the journey in that particular time may have been cut short, but there's still a journey. There's still an opportunity. There's still something I believe was in the making. So um, this may not be the thing that got me there, but this may be the thing that gets me to the thing.
Right, right, right.
You know.
So are you still searching for love? Are you still on that journey since left? What is, because a lot of people want to know, inquiring minds want to know, Calvin. Are you available now, or what's up, Calvin?
Yes, I am still available. I'm not searching for anyone. I'm preparing myself for my queen. So
Amen.
I am
Okay.
taking my time to fix my resume, right? To put my resume, and when I say resume, I meant like, making sure my objective is in the right place, my education, my skills, and making sure I have the right referrals, you know. So I'm actually making sure that I sharpen myself, get myself ready, because I want to make sure that when it's time for me to meet that queen, when it's time for me to meet that one, and God prepares me for that person, that I'm ready for it. I don't want to meet her and I'm still trying to get myself ready. I want to make sure that I am ready. So I'm available. Um, but again, like I said, I'm just preparing myself for my queen. So I'm not actively out there looking. I'm not actively joining a show. I'm not active on that level. I'm just making sure that I prepare myself and making sure I'm checking off everything I need to do when it's time to come to that table.
So let's get some statistics on Calvin, and then I'm going to close it out. Not unless you want to add anything. So, like, how tall are you? How much do you weigh? I see you work out. I saw your IG photo, so we know work out and stuff. So, give us a little bit of background, like your elevator pitch on who Calvin is.
My elevator pitch. Wow, that's interesting. Okay. I'm 6'2". Yes, I do enjoy working out. As it mentioned in the show, I work in the legal field as a contract manager. I don't have any kids. Um, I do live alone. um, I am single. I don't have a bunch of um, women running around me. That's not even the case at all. I am not out there actively sexually or anything like that as well. I am. I have a strong relationship with God. And again, I'm just ready. I'm just ready. I'm just getting myself ready. I'm looking to be, I'm not even just looking to be in a relationship. I am courting at this point. I want to be married. I want to find my queen. I want to find someone I can build with, have a legacy with, build an empire with. Um, so I am making sure that I am doing all the things I need to do on my end so that when I do find that person and God brings that person to me, again, when it's time to sit at that table, I could say I'm ready.
That's awesome. So is your mom, is she the type of mom who you would say, look, mom, I want you to honestly tell me the truth? And of course your mom is going to tell you the truth, but is your mom like hard to please? Like, no, that she ain't good enough for my baby. Yeah.
No, let me tell you something I love about my mother. She do not get into my business. I love my mother to death. I do. I love my mother to death, but I'm the one that makes sure my mother's good, right? So I'm not a mama's boy. I'm the one that cooks for my mother. I'm the one that
Okay.
makes sure that, she's put into places, whatever. And similar to what you said in the beginning of this interview, when I brought my mother out here, what one of the things I said to her was, "You had me, now I got you. I got us."
Oh.
So when it comes down to me finding someone and being with someone, this is about me and her, me and the woman that I find. My mother always says this: I don't get into my kids' business because I don't want my kids to get into my business. So if I'm happy with the person that I find, my mother will be happy just because I'm happy. But there's healthy boundaries. I believe in healthy boundaries. I believe in being able, again, like I said, with the person I want to be with, this is about her and I. This is about what we're building together. And of course, if she has a child, then of course, the child and every is involved as well. But I'm really kind of talking about, if it's us, not anyone else.
All right. Well, is there anything else you want to add that I didn't ask?
No, you asked some tough questions.
Oh yeah, were they tough?
They were tough questions, but again, um, I, as for the show, you mentioned something about the show. I watched it as a fan. I enjoyed the show. I got an opportunity to sit back. I was away, so I was in my hotel room, and I got a chance to watch it as a fan. And it was very entertaining. I loved the opportunity that I got a chance to go through this journey, as short as it was. It was definitely in a journey. So it was a lot of behind the scenes stuff, a lot of things that we had to do. And it was definitely a journey, something I wasn't even mentally prepared for, or didn't know what to expect. But it gave me an opportunity to let me know what I'm ready for and what I'm not ready for. And I'm not a person, to be honest with you, that likes to be so much in the public eyes, right? I'm a person that usually likes to be in the background. So that's something that the show really taught me and really gave me a different perspective on. So the person that I find, that God brings to me into my life, I'm hoping and praying that she has similar qualities, that our life aligns, our values and our morals align. So it kind of, the show and everything kind of taught me that. It taught me what I'm not ready for. I think, and I guess the final thing I can say just through life is that you learn more about things. You learn more about yourself when you go through bad things.
Hmm.
It builds your
Most
character.
definitely.
It teaches you a lot about who you are as a person. It teaches you what you're ready for and what you may have to face moving forward. So that's what I walked away from the show with.
And and I know I have this one more question because of
No,
what you
no, it's
said,
okay. I got
but
time.
was there, anything that you learned about producing a television show that you thought, wow, this is how it's done? Because it's called reality TV, but I know, and probably now, that it says it's unscripted, but they kind of like give you an idea. Look, this is what we want to go down in this scene, so this is what we need y'all to do. What did you
Yeah,
learn about producing a TV show?
yeah. Like, so, when I moved to Florida about 4 years ago. So when I was in New York, I had a forum, my own forum that I had together, and I'm putting together a new one now, and it really taught me a lot. The whole production thing really taught me a lot about the behind the scenes, what happens, what's needed, what's required, and a lot. And as much as I knew this, because I understand a lot of the journey in life, a lot of things that you go through in life is always behind the scenes. The work happens behind the scenes, and then when the lights is on, you just practice. You just do what you've been practicing, right?
Amen. Mm-hmm.
But it was a lot. It was a lot. It really it confirmed who I am. It confirmed that I am a creator. I like to create. I like to be behind the scenes. I like to see people win. I like to see things come from nothing to something. And as I was doing this show, I was like, wow, this is cool, but I like to be behind it and watch it. So even when I was watching the show the other night, as I was watching it, I was like, hmm, that was interesting. But I had more fun and more enjoyment just watching it from behind the scenes, not necessarily being in front of the camera. Attention is good, but it's not really who I am anymore. Because, when I was younger, when I used to get a lot of attention, it would put me in a bad space. It didn't bring out the best in me. It actually brought out the worst in me. So it was like I was getting high off my own supply. I was
Mm.
giving attention to get attention. And I
Mm-hmm.
was getting high
Okay.
off of that. And I was like, just that doesn't bring out the best me. So this whole experience, it showed me that I'm good at getting out of my comfort zone, but not in that zone,
Mm-hmm.
not in that space.
So if someone wants to follow up with you for whatever production, or they want to, go out or something, they can find you on IG. Is that are you on Facebook? What other platforms are you on?
Yeah, so those are the two platforms I'm on. I'm on IG and I'm on Facebook. Calvin Garvey on Facebook, on IG, Calvin King Garvey on IG. So those are the
All
platforms
right.
that I'm on.
All right, Calvin. So we appreciate your time, and we look forward to maybe we'll have you back on as a guest to talk about what's going on. Who knows? So if you I was going to say something, but anyway, I guess that's where I want to just to end it with. We appreciate your time, and if anybody wants to reach out to Calvin, you can do that via social media, and we'll keep watching for the rest of the season. So thanks, Calvin, for your time, and you have a great rest of your week coming up.
Thank you very much, Stephanie. Be blessed.
You too.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
And we want to thank you too for your time. That was our Ready to Love exit interview with Calvin King Garvey. And to find out more about the things that I care about, you can go to the written version of my journal and my video journals. They're posted on EUR as web. Thanks, and you have a super day.